What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a Gen 2 breeding guide. So basically what I'm going to do is show you how to do the shiny Pokemon via Gen 2, plus some other breeding moves and tricks that you may not already know about, or just things to make your breeding experience on Gen 2 a lot faster. So basically what you're going to need is the copy of Pokemon Gold or Silver on Virtual Console, and the copy of Red, Blue, or Yellow on Virtual Console 2. So, this way I found was the easiest. So, getting into the Shiny Gyarados bit, you want to be starting there and save before there. So, get up to that bit and you want to have the Shiny Gyarados appear. So, Shiny Gyarados is a very easy way of getting a shiny, leading to get a Shiny Ditto. I'll explain that as we get in the video. So, just have any Pokemon, I'm just going to speed this little bit up here, to catch the Gyarados. So, Gyarados is a key player in getting the Shiny Pokemon on your team. So, in Gen 2, the actual stats or DVs, commonly known now as IVs, were very important here. So shiny Pokemon had the shiny value DV. So basically, in layman's terms, they had the shiny genes, really. So we've caught the Gyarados, so we've got the shiny genes. I'm wearing the shiny genes, people. Okay, so head back to Mahogany Town, or whatever, it doesn't matter, just go to a PC. And what we want to do now is we want to get this Gyarados onto another game. So, on Gen 1, I'm going to actually trade another game at the moment. So, I'm going to go to the Time Machine, and I'm going to trade with my other DS. So, I had two DSs with this one. This is how I went about it. I had Kaf's other game of, I think it was Pokemon Red or something, and we traded. So, I wanted to give the Gyarados the TM Mimic. So, I needed to get the TM Mimic from Gen 1, which was on Red, Blue, or Yellow. So, just doing a trade at the moment. We're going to hook the other DS up so we can see it. This brings back so much memories, right? So what we want to do is we want to give the Gyarados Mimic TM, and then we want to trade it back to Gen 2. Okay, so we're going to go in here, set the trade up. Everything will automatically be on the bottom screen, so one DS can just invite the trade and the other can accept it, right? Alright, so, man, this brings out so much memories, right? Okay, so we've got the little trade function up here, and now I'm going to go for my Gyarados, and we're going to trade it. Kaf's going to just trade me a random Pokemon over, and that's going to be all good. Just anything is fine. There, we just want the Gyarados to get onto the other game. This is just the easiest way that I found to achieve it as well. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to get the Gyarados onto the other game, and then we're going to teach it Mimic. And I'm going to explain a little bit about how we're going to get a shiny Ditto, because we want to get a shiny Ditto back on the Gen 2 game, but we need the shiny Gyarados on Gen 1 to do that, and we also need it with Mimic. Okay, so just getting the Pokemon at the moment. This little bit, the old trading function was very, very slow. This is I think that was a Lapras. That was a Lapras given to you in Silph Co. Okay, so I've got the Lapras or whatever. That doesn't really matter. I'm just going to swap over my games now, so that's cool. That trade is complete. So just a little bit of background on the why I'm putting this over for. So with wild transformations, like a wild Pokemon can use transform, like Ditto, right? We want to go to, on the Gen 1 game, I'm just going to cancel this, and we want to find a wild Ditto as well. So we want the wild Ditto to transform into the shiny Gyarados. So that's what we're going to do. But firstly, we need to, I'm going to show you where to get the Mimic TM from and everything like that. So it's just this easy step-through process. Okay, just going to go out here. And now we're going to swap over to Pokemon Red just about now. This goes to another game, you know what I mean. Make sure you quickly save here. After you're doing that, that's probably an important thing to keep saving as you do things. You can also clone that Red Gyarados too if you want. Okay, so booting up the game. So we just finished a trade. I'm on Kaf's game at the moment. So there's the Gyarados on my game, just showing you. Obviously, it's not shiny in this game. It doesn't show shinies on Gen 1, so don't freak out. It's still a normal shiny Gyarados. However, it comes with Thrash, Bite, Dragon Rage, and Leer. So Thrash is kind of an annoying move to have, so we're gonna get rid of that. So we're gonna go fly to. We're gonna go to Celadon City first. Now, what we need to do to get the Mimic TM, we need to go into the Pokemart. Now, on the 4th or 5th floor, I believe, we want to buy a Pokédoll, because this girl in Saffron City wants a Pokédoll. Okay, so go here, buy the Pokédoll. You can get some, if you want to get some Ultra Balls or some potions and things like that, you can too, because Ditto can be caught in a couple of locations, but I'm just going to show you the one that I found easiest to get to. If you want to get some repels too, that's quite handy to do as well. Okay, so getting lots of repels, got the Pokédoll. Now we want to head over to Cerulean City so we can buy that, we can trade the Pokédoll to the little girl, and she'll give us the Mimic TM. Okay, just going to hop down in the elevator here. Okay, so down on the 1F again, and we're just going to fly out of here and go get the Poké Doll. So with the, as I said, as I explained with the Ditto, the Gyarados is shiny, right? So we want the Ditto to copy its DVs. Now, there's actually a little glitch in this game when a Ditto that's already transformed into a Pokemon, if they use Transform again, they actually copy the shiny DVs, which is the shiny gene, which will actually make that Ditto shiny when you trade it back over to Gen 2. Anyway, so go to Saffron, go into this house here first, and we want to walk up the stairs and talk to this girl here. This is the Mimic girl. Okay. Yep, so we just talk to her. Make sure you got your Pokédoll in your party, and she'll just instantly grab that. You won't have a choice. You'll just grab it. I actually remember doing this the first time when I did it, and there's TM31. So that's cool. We've got TM31, which is Mimic. So now we want to teach Mimic to Gyarados, right? Because we want the Ditto to transform into Gyarados, and it needs to learn Mimic, because we need the Ditto to actually transform into Gyarados, and then it to use Mimic on transform, right? Okay. So now we've got, we're going to get rid of Thrash because that's an annoying move. Now, Dragon Rage is actually a very, very handy move to have on this. It actually puts the Ditto in the exact range that we need it to be in. Okay, so I would definitely get rid of Thrash. It's a dangerous move. It locks you in and it confuses too, and you don't want the opposing Ditto to transform into that. That's probably what I'd suggest anyway. This can be, obviously you can get another Ditto from a different location, but I'd suggest doing it this way. This is how I did it anyway. Okay, so let's get out of the house, and now we want to go probably back to Cinnabar Island. That's the easiest place to get Ditto that I've got. Okay, so just get any flying Pokemon on your game. So basically you want to at least be up to Cinnabar Island on red, blue, yellow, right? Okay, so now let's go back, and we want to go in the mansion. There's a lot of wild encounters there, so I would suggest getting repels. That's the easiest way that I'd go about it. Okay, I'm just going to cut out the repels, the wild encounters that I actually come across. I think I come across a few before I put the repels on. Okay, so just go this way, then go down to the right and jump off this little ledge here. You'll need to just flick this little switch before you do so. That'll just switch the doors around. And, yep, we're down, jumping off the first one. I remember when I was a kid, I jumped off the second one. So I thought the first one would be too easy, but, yeah, then I get disappointed. Okay, so walk down here past the scientist, down these little lot of stairs here, and start running around in this area. Now, Ditto is quite rare, so you'll need to wait for it to come up. Now, you need to also have Gyarados as the lead, too. So, my advice would probably be to rare candy the Gyarados up a bit and make sure it's a higher level, because the levels in here are quite high. So probably just clone up those rare candies with a glitch, or just raise up the Gyarados a little bit so it's higher so you can run away easier. Okay, so finally we found Ditto. Now, first what we need to do here, so we need to go Mimic on Transform. So that'll automatically make the Gyarados learn Transform, right? So the Gyarados now learns Transform. The Mimic, the Ditto is going to be transformed into Gyarados. So now we just use Leer because we want the Ditto to use Transform again. So once it uses Transform for the second time, it's a glitch that'll actually copy the shiny value from the Gyarados. So putting it in layman's terms, the Gyarados is shiny, right? If it uses Transform for the second time, it's actually going to turn itself into a shiny Ditto when it's transferred from Gen 1 to 2. Okay, so now it's going to transform again. So now it's got the shiny gene. It's shiny Ditto now. So the best thing here is level 18 Ditto. You can, if you're a level 30 Gyarados, if you don't level up, or whatever, you can just go for, or it doesn't really matter because it's fixed. You can just go for the Dragon Rage. That'll put it down on low health, and now you can just throw Ultra Balls at it and get it. So that's probably the best way that I did it and quickest way. So Dragon Rage got it in one go, and there's the Ditto. That is a shiny Ditto now. So we're going to be, we want the Ditto because Ditto can breed with a lot of different Pokemon. So Gyarados can only breed with a certain amount of Pokemon. Ditto can breed with lots of Pokemon. So that's what we want. Okay, so we don't need that one at all. So that's basically it. Make sure you bring an escape rope too, to just save you walking out of there. That's what I'd do anyway. So we're going to escape rope back now. So we've got the Ditto, which we need to trade back to Gen 2 now. That's all good. All right. So now we're going to go into the PC and just quickly grab out that Ditto. Now, just as I said before, so it basically, by the Ditto using Transform for the second time, it just abuses the fact that it's copied the Gyarados' shiny genes, right? So it's given itself those genes. So it's just a glitch in Gen 2. That's how it worked. It's a very, it's a little bit more involved, but just following those basic steps, you can get a shiny Ditto very, very easily. Okay, so now we're going to do a trade between Gen 1 and Gen 2 on my game. So just go to the lady here next to the Pokemon, like the Pokemon box. So that's going to give you options on the bottom of the screen to trade again. That's all cool. Okay, so now just flicking back to my game. We're still in trade at the moment. I'm just showing you on my screen because this is where it's going to, you're going to be able to see that this is a shiny Ditto. Now, once we got the Ditto, I'm going to show you how to go about breeding and things about breeding too. So just a very slow step-by-step guide just for the basic person who doesn't really understand everything. So that's why I'm just doing this quite slowly. That's all. Okay, so let's get into the trade. So now I can just trade Kath back in. I can just give her back a Lapras on her game, and now she can trade over the shiny Ditto. Please wait. Okay. All right, so now on my game, I've got the Lapras, which I'm going to trade back, which we don't need. So we're going to trade the Ditto and the Lapras. That's cool. So now, as you see, as I said before, on Gen 1, you will not be able to see that the Ditto is shiny. Same with the Gyarados. There's no shinies on the game. However, during the trade back, you'll be able to see that the Ditto is shiny, so you know if you've done it correctly or not. All you got to do is make it use Transform twice on the Gyarados, then it has Mimic. Okay, so the idea is to use, if you don't get that one already, with the Mimic, right, you Mimic Transform, so you know, so that's going to guarantee that Ditto uses Transform, right? So it's going to be transforming as a Gyarados, so that's the little trick how to do it. All right, so now we're trading Ditto back over from the game onto my game, and as you can see, when the Ditto pops out of here, there we go, it's shiny. So now we've got a shiny Ditto to work with, which Ditto can breed with a lot more Pokemon than Gyarados can. So it goes with like all the egg groups and things like that. Okay. You can use Gyarados as well, but that's the best way to get a Ditto so it can breed with every Pokemon, right? Okay, so quickly, we're going to cancel that trade. That's all we really need. The Gyarados is obsolete now. We don't really need him. So mainly we're doing we want to work with the Ditto. Okay, so swapping back now, we want to go out of this trade, and I'm now going to show you how to do some of the breeding mechanics. Okay, so now in this video, I'm going to be breeding a shiny Shuckle. So, trying to go for a shiny Shuckle. Now, I actually did get the shiny Shuckle eventually. I'll actually put a live video of that. It was quite funny. You can use any Pokemon you like as long as it can breed with a Ditto. So let's go. I'm using the Shuckle from, you get that from just outside of Seawood City off the island, and you get that one given to you for free. So that's a different OT. I'm going to explain about OTs too. OT is just a trainer name, right? So on this one, my OT is Pimp, or Ben, or whatever it is on this game. I'll get to show. Just taking off the items from Ditto. You don't have to do that, or whatever. Okay, so we got the Ditto and we got the Shuckle. So we want to trade them together. We want to breed them together, right? So that's what we want to do. Now, as you said, you need to be past at least up to a certain point, as I said, and you want to be going, what am I doing? You need to be going to the breeder now. So there'll be two breeders in here, like an old duck, an old guy, and what happens is you want to give them both, one of them the Ditto, and it doesn't really matter, they can go to either. So a little, I just want to pop something up on the screen here. This is a little chart here just showing the percentage of eggs. So in Gen 2, right, you don't always get an egg every single set amount of time. It's all to do with steps. So you have 200 and let me just get my, if I've got my information here, right? So 250, I think it's 256 steps. Sorry, 256 steps. Sorry about that one. That's every time you do that amount of steps, you have a chance of getting an egg. So with this other one, you can have if you got the same species and it's a different OT to your trainer, that'll be 39.1%. So that's the highest chance. It kind of goes down after that. So if you got two of the same species together, say a Shuckle and a Shuckle, then it's 29. Two different species, then it's 22.1. And then if you have a different and a same original trainer, that is 9.5. So it's very low. So at the moment, I've got two different species together. However, I've got a different OT, so that Shuckle wasn't mine. So I've got a 22.1% chance. So after a while, an egg will pop up. But be patient. So just go back, do your loop up and down, and just after you do about 256 steps, just stroll by the daycare. You'll eventually get an egg. It can take a long time if you've got very low odds. As I said, if you got two species that are different, and you've got the same OT. So say that Ditto, right? You've got that Ditto already, but you've got a Pokemon you caught on Gen 2, you're going to have the lowest odds. So it could pay to trade it from a different game. But if you don't, you can still get it. It's just a very low chance of 9.5. So eventually you're going to have a lot of eggs in your party. You just need to have at least one Pokemon. You can't have all eggs, obviously. So now, basically, you just got to grind around and just get out your bike and drive around, and ride around and hatch those eggs. So after a while, you have the eggs hatching. It'll come up on the screen, and this is like what it looks like, just for the eggs. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say about this. Now, an important fact when you're breeding too, I'll get into that in a sec. I'll actually get into that a sec a little bit after this video. So let's get the shiny Pokemon first. So another quick little tip here, you can do this at AFK method. If you go into the Department Store and just hold up on your D-pad, you'd actually just keep walking and walking and walking. The thing about it is, it looks like it's doing a lot of steps, but it's not. It's only doing one. So this could work for an AFK hatching method. So you could just put a little bit of cardboard behind your joystick and walk away, and then come back, and then it'll be hatched. But that'll take a very, very long time. So maybe before you go to sleep or something, you want to hatch like one egg, because obviously you have to press A to get to the next one. So just a little trick there if you wanted to try something out before you went to sleep. Like, if you had one egg left, just put it on, I don't know, just put a bit of cardboard behind your joystick, push it slightly forward without breaking it, and that would definitely work to keep hatching eggs. Just keep going up and down the steps. I did that before once, but as you said, it's only counting as, see, that's 1, 2, 3 steps like that. So it's not doing much, rather than, it's more of an AFK method. Anyway, so skipping forward, so finally here, this is after about 200-ish eggs, we get the shiny Shuckle. So that was quite a long haul for me for Gen 1, because the chances of getting a shiny are 1 in 64. So they're fairly high. The whole slow bit about it is actually getting the eggs. That's the slow bit, and hatching them as well. So they're the two slow bits. So you want to try and go for the highest odds. However, like with a shiny Ditto, probably the best you're going to get at the start is... the most you can get is a 22.1% chance. So Ditto is always going to be a different Pokemon, right, to the other Pokemon you're breeding up against it. So it can be any Pokemon, like say a Rattata or something. It's always going to be 22.1. Or if you don't have it as your own OT, if you've got it as your own OT, it's going to be 9.5% chances to get an egg. So anyways, what I want to show you now is something... how to pass a breeding move. So Shuckle actually gets only one breeding move. Now it can breed with a Beedrill. Now this is interesting. Okay, so you can actually talk to the Pokemon, and it actually shows no interest. So you have to have different, obviously you got to have different genders, right? Now there's all different kinds of things. Each little saying that the Pokemon have means something different. Like, it actually correlates to the speed of you getting eggs, like we mentioned before, right? Okay, so it says shows no interest, and then then for the 9.5%, it says it shows interest. Then for the 22, it's friendly with the other Pokemon. You know, we're getting up to the 29, it's friendly with, and then we're going for the 39, it appears to care for. So they're the rates there. So anyway, I finally got an egg, and from I was actually running on a 9.5% chance there, because I had a different Pokemon, Beedrill, and I had the same OT, which was my Shuckle. So I was running on a 9.5 chance to get an egg. So it took quite a while. Okay, so as you can see on the Shuckle, we've bred Sweet Scent onto there. That's the you can just check them on Bulbapedia or Cerebi, like what Pokemon gets what. But that's now all the babies will get Sweet Scent because you put it onto that Shuckle. Also, when breeding, the female needs to be the offspring. So the female will be the baby Pokemon, and the male will be the one passing on the move. So in this case, I had a male Beedrill with Sweet Scent. I bred it up to a female Shuckle, which actually made the Shuckle as the baby. So the female will be the offspring, and the male will be the one passing on the moves. So that's how you need to pass the moves on for a Pokemon. And that's basically it. You can also use the shiny Shuckle now to breed up with a male Shuckle. So that'll give it, instead of using the Ditto now, you won't have a different species. They'll be the same. So say if you had a Shuckle and a Shuckle, but now you're using the shiny Shuckle, which is the female, then you bred it up to a male Shuckle. That would be a 29% chance, right? If the Shuckle was a different OT, not the shiny one, the other one, was a different OT, that would put it up to 39% chance. Also, another little fun fact too, if you are putting eggs in the daycare, you can actually click on the Pokemon in the status, right? And it'll say something. If it says something like this, right? They are brimming with energy. That actually means they can never make an egg, right? So you need to be aware that the defense IVs of 2 of the Pokemon are the same, and the special IVs or DVs. IVs and DVs just mean the genes, right? Just putting it simply, are the same or differ by 8. Basically, you don't need to know what that means. You just need to know that they cannot breed together, and they've got very similar stats, and the game is just coded that way, so they cannot breed. So you need to take out a Pokemon and breed it. Like, you need to take out one of the Pokemon and breed it with a different one. That can commonly happen because you are breeding up with a shiny Pokemon, so it can pass those stats. I think that's about it for this video. Hopefully I covered everything. I'm just hoping I covered everything in a basic way that the basic person could understand. And I was able to get a shiny Pokemon. So quickly, just rehashing the video, we went on Gen 1, Gen 2, we caught the shiny Gyarados. We traded the shiny Gyarados to Gen 1. We taught it Mimic on Gen 1. We then came across a Ditto on Gen 1. We made the Ditto transform into the Gyarados. And before that, I taught my Gyarados Mimic from the Ditto in the wild. The Ditto transformed into me, then it used transform again for the second time, giving it the shiny genes it needed to be, and then I threw a Ultra Ball, it caught it, and it was obviously it's shiny. So that's how it worked. Then we traded the Ditto back to my game. I bred it up with a Shuckle. I finally got a shiny Shuckle. Which is a 1 in 64 chance, and then I was able to use that Shuckle in, like, say I could breed up 2 Shuckles together. The chances of getting eggs would be much higher. Plus now I've got an egg group to use it with, whereas Ditto, Ditto can breed with any, but it's nice having Shuckle because then I've got like a bug egg group to breed with other people, Pokemon. And also showed you how to do the breeding move onto Pokemon as well. And now, if you want to send these over the game, that'll be out when Ultra Sun and Moon comes out, obviously. But if you wanted to do like a Gen 1 Pokemon, like a Rattata, as long as the move existed in Gen 1, you could definitely transfer that one over as well. However, if you have a Pokemon like Shuckle, you can definitely transfer these Pokemon over in Ultra Sun and Moon when that comes out. And yeah, you can also put TMs on them, so say if you want a Pokemon to have a specific move or TM, you can definitely do that as well. So give them a TM and then put them over. So then they'll have the breeding move and the TM. So if you want them like the shiny one. So you got to do it all on Gen 2 before sending them over. Well, I hope that was a fairly involved video. Had some fun doing this one. I think I will put my shiny Shuckle video. I may have put it up already, but if I haven't, it will be going up. Alright, hope this really helped out, people. If you did get to this far in the video, I very much thank you for watching. If it helped you out, please let me know in the comment section if this did take a fair bit of time to make, and I'll catch you then. Peace.